Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2019 WebSolutions Bingo Contest. My name is Dan DeLong, and I'll be going through this webinar with you today. I just want to make sure that everyone can hear me. If you can type in the questions box that everything sounds okay. Before I begin for half an hour, I just want to make sure that you can hear me. All right. Excellent. Okay, so some people coming in, they can hear. Awesome. Okay, so again, my name is Dan DeLong, and we'll be talking about the 2019 Web Solutions Bingo Contest. And today I'm going to be talking about the consult. So we've been going through the 5 C's here, right? So the first one was candidate, finding the people to talk to. The next one was current, doing the current research and finding those what their current situation is for those candidates. Then next is making the contact, and what we're going to be talking about today is the consult. And when we were originally talking to Jason about what parts we like or that we wanted to do, I really wanted to do this one because when I think back of when I first got my first job out of high school, I got a job in Phoenix, Arizona, going door to door to pick up water samples for a water treatment company. And all I was doing was qualifying those leads for the salespeople. And when I was sitting in Web Center training, my first WCT 101, and they started talking about doing a consult, it brought me back to that moment in time where I was like, that's what I was doing for that company. That it totally just aligns with what we're doing here with Web Centers. So really, that's what we're doing, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Because once you've found and identified a few areas where it could be a good fit, that really the next thing that you want to do is conduct a 15-minute consultation. Now um, these sheets are available on WC MAWC411.com. You can download them there, or you can order them through unfranchise.com. And there's really two main consultation that we're really going to talk about here today, but there also is a business spending one. And the nice part about that is that with the business spending, if you're trying to work your way in from a cold market or build a relationship, you can really start with the business spending and show someone, a potential business client, how you can save the money. So if you're saving the money by them shopping through your shopping portal, then that leads to a future relationship, and that's really all you're doing by how you do these consultations. They just lead to higher quality appointments because as you ask these questions of a business prospect, you're going to eliminate some of the things that they're you're not going to be needing to talk about, or you're going to be isolating problems, and that's really what these are designed to do. So set yourself up for success. Knowing your process and the next step is really going to increase the sales. So, we're going to have the meeting intro, which really revolves around the no decision close. You have your consultation sheets that you bring with you. You present your research because you've done some current research, and then you propose the demo and just follow up. So the no decision introduction, this is really just using an upfront agreement. It not only sets the agenda for the meeting, but it ensures that all parties have their expectations just out in the open. It really just allows a meeting to be rescheduled or adjusted as necessary. And it really is no decision. It's no decision to the next step before the meeting even takes place. Now, here's an example of that. Thank you for meeting with me today. As we discussed at the restaurant last week, you wanted to look at our online marketing. What specifically is that your hope is it that you hope to learn today? I'd like to learn more about your business and share more about what we do and help businesses improve their online presence, as well as review some information I discovered about your business. Are you still okay for about 15 minutes? And really, if you like everything you review today, I'd like to schedule an appointment with our website specialist to speak more directly about your concerns and how we can help. Does that sound like a good use of our time? So by doing that, it just really sets the stage for the consultation. Now, just because you're in advanced selling and a network approach doesn't mean you need to treat people like a number. We still need to show interest in our prospects. The goal is to get your prospects to do the majority of the talking. Like when you're sharing the marketing manual, don't turn into a professor. You really just use this information to gain valuable insight into your candidate's industry and ask some awesome questions. We often talk about the people that sell websites at a higher price. The main difference between someone who sells a website at $299 and $2,999 is the amount of value that's built into that appointment. And when we learn to build more value, you can sell websites at a higher price, build that rapport, and gain those referrals. So which one do you think you are? Are you the interesting person? An interesting person is kind of a know-it-all. People who think that they're so interesting that they often talk at people. They have so much to say and to tell that they forget to listen. It's no coincidence that we have two ears and one mouth, but a lot of people get that backwards. But by being interesting, it often confuses and alienates the person that you're talking to. Now, people who are interested, they listen, they ask questions, they share information based on what they heard. So, if you were a prospect, if you were being on the flip side of this, if the roles were reversed, who would you rather talk to? Which category falls into which category to fall into when you're talking to those prospects. See, it matters less about what you know and more about how what you care. In the eyes of the person that you're talking to, you're the most interesting when you're being interested in them. Something that popped up to mind as I was going through that. You think of Kim Kardashian versus Bill Gates. Kim Kardashian is interesting, but Bill Gates is interested. If you've ever seen the Inside Bill's Brain series on Netflix, he is totally curious about the world, but that makes him more interesting than interesting people. So one thing to remember, that this is not a sales appointment. What it is an opportunity to learn more about your candidate and see if there's a way that you can offer a solution. The solution is an appointment with a product specialist. You don't necessarily want to pitch your business to them. It's really just getting to know more about them, and people are really just going to buy you. Now, some tips for conducting consultations. Write everything down, even if it seems unrelated or not at all important at the time. It could certainly surface, like their birthdays or something like that might come up in the conversation. You don't want to discuss solutions. We're really here to isolate what the problems are and listen lots. Hear what they have to say, and again, write it down. So on top of letting them do most of the talking, just listen a lot. One thing that I've found out by talking to small businesses is they love to talk about their business. I mean, they have spent blood, sweat, tears into creating that business, and they want to tell that story to people. And if you're there willing to listen to what they have to say, um, they're gonna love you for it. Use it as an opportunity to identify all decision makers too. So as you may be talking with one person, just asking, hey, is there anybody else that you think would be that might want to take a look at this too, and really get excited to discover the solutions with the product specialist. So after you've gathered all that information from the consultation, thanking them for sharing it, and then when we agreed to meet, I did some research. And then what you want to do here is just share what you found. Again, this is not something that you want to point out their faults, or the flaws. Like, this, you did this wrong, because they may have done it, and they may have done it themselves. And pointing that out might not be the best thing to be doing, but just educating them, engage with them why it's important to address. If they don't have a mobile friendly website, how that's going to impact their mobile searches, and maybe not, miss out on business that they don't even know they're missing out on. And then really to identify their true motivation. What is the problems that we can hopefully address, and then just wrap it up. At this point, the next step, what I'd like to do is schedule an appointment with our, blank specialist, whatever that happens to be, whether you're doing the digital marketing or the the website design. But you're going to address and repeat what their biggest concerns were as you were talking about during the consultation. Those people, the specialists, they're going to be able to speak directly to their questions and offer solutions, and then create a proposal. And then how soon can we set your appointment? What I like to do is give them an alternative choice. Is mornings or afternoons typically better for you? And then from there, you just find a day that works for them. Now, why does this process work? We can all make a referral or set an appointment. All we have to do is just invite. And that's really what we're doing here. We're being organic, true to ourselves, not by putting on a hat that we're not supposed to wear. I personally, I didn't think that WebSolutions was a good fit for me, because I tried to make a website a couple decades ago and I hated it. And I thought that WebSolutions was going to be that. Well, I was pleasantly surprised that it was not that. Think about like isotonics. When you sell a bottle of OPC3, do you all of a sudden, feel the need to become a health professional? It's the same thing here for web centers. Now, the most important thing is to let them know that the information that we gathered is going to be addressed during the appointment. So whatever questions or potential obstacles they might be coming up or bringing up with you at that point, the answer is a solution. The appointment with the product specialist, and edify them. Think about how you would edify a speaker at a UBP or a local event. Same concept here. So just like anything else in Market America, the fortune's in the follow-up. So it's a successful meeting if that follow-up is booked. You can, if you don't have the answer for them right then, you can, break out your phone and schedule the appointment on your mobile device on the back office of web centers. But schedule it with the product specialist to address their needs, and send them a heartfelt communication as a way to follow up. Now, it's important that these are not sales appointments. These are consultation meetings. That those are going to lead to results. Now that you've had a qualified consultation, you're just going to pass that along to the product specialist. And that's it for the consultation. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the recording, and if you guys have any questions about the consult, we'll go to any questions and answers.